Hi there. Well, this is my first attempt at doing one of these and completely unscripted. And I'll quickly say a thank you to Jim Wood for inspiring me to have a go at doing this. Thanks to Jim for his videos he started doing about how he started collecting records. So my story began when I was about 8, I think. My parents moved to a brand new bungalow in the village of Sway, on the edge of the New Forest. And we were surrounded by mainly elderly people. And one of our neighbours across the road had a great big, massive radiogram with a 15-inch speaker in the front of it that he wanted to get rid of as he was upgrading to a new system. And I was going to a youth club at the time for 8 to 11-year-olds, and they had one of these horrible little record players where you opened it and the lid was in the top, the lid of the speaker. The speaker was in the lid, and the gramophone part of it was the on the tabletop. An LP record stuck out the side of it. It was as tinny as you like, and in those days there was a complete bun fight every week between everybody who took their records along to play. I started going to this youth club, being a complete novice, newbie, not really having many records at all, not really knowing much about the scene. But I quickly got into listening to other people's records, really. Slade, Sweet, T-Rex, that sort of thing that was going on at the time. So through my parents, this elderly gentleman's big radiogram got donated to the youth club. And as a byproduct of that, I ended up being like the record monitor, managing all of the records that got played. It stopped the bun fight between everybody, and that's how I started DJing, really. And I've been doing that ever since, on and off, 50 odd years, man and boy. The radiogram with its massive 15-inch speaker sounded fantastic. I started buying records quickly, and again, another nod to Jim. My parents used to be involved in jumble sales quite regularly. They roped me in to do that. So I always put myself down to look after all the books and records. So I always had first dibs on the material that came in. So I collected quite a few paperbacks, all the James Bond books, which I read by the time I was 11, and of course loads and loads of old vinyl singles and albums. So very, very quickly started collecting old records from the 60s. I picked up things like The House of the Rising Sun, Let's Twist Again, great records. The Beatles, of course, I was a big fan from an early age, and my collecting career just mushroomed ever since. Continued DJing all the way through school, when I first started work, on and off. I've never been a mobile DJ, but I've just been there in pubs and parties from time to time when I've been called upon. I've turned down more requests to do gigs than I've ever actually accepted, just because I never wanted to be a roadie. I just wanted to play the music, and I always got a great reaction from the crowds because I like to think I've got good taste, and I always played those records that people hadn't heard, not the everyday run-of-the-mill that you always got played, but those records that you put on and people go, I haven't heard this in ages, it's brilliant. That was my secret, and it's kept me in good stead all these years. So hope this has been an enjoyable listen. I'll perhaps do another one in a week or two if I think of anything more to say. Okay, so Happy New Year for 2023, and hope everybody is enjoying spinning those discs.